Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 104 of Consignment Chats. Libby, how are you?
Great. What are we going to talk about?
Oh, my goodness, y'all. We are going to travel with you through the year 2022. We are going to talk about our favorite things, things that changed, things we added, all kinds of things.
Yep.
But hang on till the end, because at the end, we have a couple of things to share with you that you don't want to miss. Libby, 2022.
All right. So we started with, and I listened to a little bit of this morning, is our reseller resolutions last year. We had guests on and we talked about what our resolutions for the new year were going to be. And that was really fun. And I have to say, while I was watching this, listening to it on YouTube, I felt like, oh my gosh, we looked like so baby faced and naive and just like happy for the new year. Like we had no idea what 2022 was going to serve up to us.
If you only knew what was coming.
I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't know what was coming because it would have been a much different episode.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I look at it and I think 2022 was a year, but I don't know. There was a lot of really good stuff.
There was so much growth
Yeah,
for C
yeah.
chats, for our business, so much growth of the community. There were so many incredible things that happened this year. I'm excited to
Oh,
travel back and look at them. There are also a lot of challenges we experienced this year,
oh yeah. Oh
personal
yeah.
and business wise, lots of challenges.
Absolutely. And that I think is what we call life. Capital L, capital I, capital F, capital E.
Yeah.
Um, and to me, something that I'm blessed to have you as a friend for is the ability to look on the bright side when things get down and pivot when pivots are needed. I have said this many times about you before. I think everybody has certain people in their lives for certain reasons. And I think each person brings things into your life as a part of it. And those are definitely things that you have consistently brought into my life from 10 plus years ago. And
Oh,
it really helps.
yeah.
It really helps.
Yeah. And it
So,
really helps. I mean, you bring so much to me, mostly that you reel me back in.
and y'all, I hate the fish, by the way.
She reels me back in a lot of times. Sometimes
Oh,
not enough, but yes, definitely pulls me back to reality when I just go, yeah, haywire with ideas.
yeah.
Although some
So
of those
it's
ideas, to be fair, are yours. You're the
okay.
creative.
I do. I create ideas, and if you've heard our past episodes, you probably heard me say before, or Libby, that I come up with ideas because my brain is very creative and loves to just spit stuff out. Although I'm never the reactor, I spit them out and then I got to think about them. But if I spit them out to Libby, we're doing them within the next 24 hours. So I had to be careful. She's a doer. She's like, oh, great idea. Boom, done. So
Oh, gosh.
we do. We always say we balance each other in that way because we are on polar opposites and we tend to make business decisions meet in the middle, and it seems to work well for us. So that's
It
good.
does.
Good stuff. Hey, I was thinking this morning, probably as you were watching that old YouTube
Yeah.
episode, that I now want to watch and need to watch because
Mhm.
that was one of my favorites last year, was having everybody on at the end of the year.
Mhm.
But one of the things I keep going back to that I just am so thrilled that we did this year was the addition of the Samantha Speak series. Having Samantha join in and be a monthly visitor into our lives and our recordings.
Yeah,
So,
her journey is incredible. She has such insight. Now, she is a fair bit younger than us, so it always surprises me how insightful she, not that age is a thing, but based on her years, she is just so incredibly insightful, and to be able to follow that journey as she moved from her full-time healthcare work to running a consignment business online is,
full time.
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
You know, she is business mature for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just love listening to her talk. I love how relatable she is, because when she talks, she's always got good humor, but she's so bright. And she just, as she says to us, and we just say ditto back to her, she's our people. Like, she is just our people. Yeah, we love her. We love her. And I think the community has been thrilled to have her. And she's such a nice active part in our private Facebook group, which, by the way, if you have not gone over there and joined yet, you are missing out on quite a supportive, amazing group of resellers and consignment businesses. And when I say supportive, I mean supportive.
Yes.
And she is a very active part in there and does a great job with connecting with people. So she's a blessing to have for sure. For sure.
Yes, that was definitely a blessing in 2022 to bring her on and to be able to do all of that. And oh gosh, there's just so much. You just have to go back and watch the series on YouTube of Samantha Speaks and all her knowledge. It was fun because I kind of felt like we went on vacation with her this year, and we talked
Yes,
a lot
we
about
did.
reseller vacations and how we do that. So yeah,
So much
we're
fun.
a weird breed. We're a weird breed. And you know,
What was
let's take a step back for a second, because one of
Okay.
the premises of consignment chats isn't necessarily consignment. We are a group of resellers. You do less I do majority consignment and some, retail art. We do dip our toes in all sorts of things. Molly is not majority of consignment. She does a lot of sourcing, but every reseller should be consignment ready. So our group is not just for consignment sellers by any stretch of the imagination. We have resellers that are just consignment ready. Maybe they haven't even taken their first consignment yet. Some have.
Yep.
But
yeah,
you want to touch on why that's really important?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the thought that we even need to touch on it, I'm sure that anybody listening that's a reseller that hasn't heard that is going, oh my gosh, that's so true. Because if you resell anything, somebody at some point has come up to you and asked you to sell their items, whether it's your mom, Aunt Becky, Uncle Bob, your neighbor down the street. As soon as people hear you're into reselling, everybody's got something to sell. Yeah. And everybody wants you to sell it. And you look at stuff and go, I don't want to sell that. Well, if you're consignment ready and you have your consignment agreement already typed up and printed out, that's your easy escape, or your easy don't leave money on the table because you want the items, to just hand that over and say, here's what I will agree to do if you're into it.
Yeah.
So that's
even
why
though we are consignment chats, we're a lot of us are just plain old resellers. If there's such a thing as a plain old reseller, well, I don't even know.
I've never met a plain old reseller ever. Ever.
Resellers are the best.
I'm just letting this kind of go from subject to subject because we just came in here to chat. But when we're just talking about this, it's taking me somewhere else. Yeah. Going to Boss Reseller Remix this year. That was where I realized that we resellers are not normal people. We are a breed of our own. However, we are all very different, yet the same. And I just loved sitting in that room, looking and meeting and seeing and listening to all those different resellers and whatever niche they did or whatever they, thing they loved, and realizing that we're all in it together. Yeah, and
amazing.
We can all lift each other up in so many ways. And that community does that, which is what we love. It's what we do. So,
do you know one of the things I took away, I don't think we talked about this, was how invested a lot of resellers are in giving back, and what a large portion of their lives, of their sales, of their everything stems from giving back. Yeah. I mean, really community oriented bunch, and just really willing to help people inside and outside the reseller community. I mean, just the fact that it was at the Blind Center of Las Vegas, speaks to that. But
Yeah.
just so many amazing people that were doing such amazing things with their consignments, with their reselling, how many people they were supporting, whether it was neighbors, whether it was a local organization. It was a common thread throughout that
Mhm.
was giving back, and what can I do for other people?
Yep. Yep. We
So
good people. We good people.
yeah, for sure. For
Tell
sure.
me something we added that you loved in 2022.
Gosh, there's so much. So we put our free consigner agreement out there, a sample agreement, so everybody can have that in their toolbox. That was really received very well. It was something that probably wasn't really out there like that as a
Right.
resource for people to just be ready. I did a reel on Instagram. I think I might have to resurface it about I have a magnet on my car for my business. And it's an example of why every reseller should be consignment ready. I had literally people flag me down at stop signs. I'm thinking my car is on fire, like something like they need me. Uh, and I'm consignment ready. So yeah, I can roll down that window or buzz down that window and yeah, go ahead and hand them a card or just say countryconsignment.com.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so that was one of the favorite things is knowing I'm not alone in that people will track
Mhm.
you down to have you sell their stuff for them. That was kind of fun. That was kind of yeah.
For sure. Well, I'm going to throw out another favorite because it was your brainstorm and your baby. And when you first brought it up, I wasn't quite understanding where it was going. And I think it wound up just being phenomenal. And that is the See It with C Chat series. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, so I feel like we all have such different processes and ways we do things, whether we're in a storefront, whether we have a hybrid model, whatever it is. And I wanted to be able to see other businesses, how they processed items, what the efficiencies were, maybe what the inefficiencies were in my own business. Maybe there's a better way to do things. So I said, let's do a business process video for our business, for other businesses, create like a visual representation, a flow chart of like actually how we step through and we process an item, because people really want to know what the whole thing looks like before they get into it. Or maybe they're already into it and they're looking for a way to be more efficient. So yeah, we recorded that for ourselves with A and B consignment. And we have more of these coming up with sorting with Samantha. Yeah, we have more
Mm-hmm.
of these coming up. Recently we did, I think it was last week actually, we actually did smaller tutorials, right?
Yes,
Where we stepped through it.
we had to do See It with C Chat's Country Consignment 2.0.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because
We had to do it.
2022 happened.
2022 happened, so we had to record a 2.0 version.
Yeah.
As anybody in this business and industry knows, things change
Hmm.
all the time, right? Like
Yeah.
as soon as you think you got it together, boom. And a lot of that is that we do, especially those of us that are fully online, we do so much with technology and platforms, and technology changes on a daily basis. So staying up with that can be um, challenging at times, especially when several people want to change things, or if they want to change it in the middle of Q4, whatever
Hmm.
they choose to do, then we have to change with it, right?
So we record it for Conchi Consignment. We recorded two separate See It with C chats. If somebody had told that baby face 2022 person, Libby, making her resolutions for the year, that we would change consignment software platforms, that the Shopify to eBay app was going away, that the new listing tool was going to come out, I don't know that I would have went. I would have been really defeated before the year even started. But it
Right.
happened. We adapted. We recorded our new episode. And
And
yeah,
now we've got 2.0. And I love that the idea of breaking it down into smaller episodes so you can see. And we also broke one process down between the two of us. We each have a video because we do some things, even though we work together and have for 10 plus years, there are certain parts of the process that we do very differently that work for me and work for Libby and don't for me, you know. So I showed you my process through video, and then Libby went through hers, so you can compare and take a peek at those.
Yeah. So that was a labor of love. So those videos, the process videos, those short little tutorials, couple minutes each, are on YouTube. If you're listening on podcast, just hop over to our YouTube channel. You can check those out. A lot of our quick chats and tutorials are just on YouTube because they don't translate super well to audio.
Yeah.
And you really want to see what the heck we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things that I love that you did, Libby, because a lot of people are more visual than they are auditory and learning, that even if you're watching some of the episodes previously of the See It With C chats, the creation of the visual flow chart that you made for each business we highlighted and put on our social media was amazing, because that really helps for those of us who are more visual learners to piece together the steps that that business flows through. So I thank you as a visual learner for doing that.
Oh, wow. All right. Because I had done that mostly for myself, because I'm like, I need to be able to see what is actually happening here. Like, it's one thing to say, all right, we move it from the consignment software, you know, or from our phone to it's one thing to say it. And it was another thing for me to visually see what we were doing. And I was like, oh, wait, if I did this, that'll save me some time. So yes, it was totally selfish on my part, but I'm glad it helped.
Well, I think a lot of people love it. I think a lot of people have really enjoyed those episodes and really like the visual flow chart. So kudos to you, my partner.
Thank you. And we have some really good, I didn't even share this with Molly yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. We have some more See It With C chats planned for 2023. One of them is actually going to be the other side of the process, which is what happens when something sells. Or if you're in, let's say you're in a brick and mortar, you're selling on, you know, 5 different platforms. What does that look like? So it's actually, and Samantha is actually going to be the one to record this. Well, we'll record it with her, but it's the other half of the process, right? Because we talked about all about getting the listings up and getting the stuff on the floor as inventory. But the other half of the process is equally as important. So we're going to do that.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. And then one more, we're going to do somebody that manages several locations, brick and mortar and online, and how they do all of that, because I think that's a really important flow for anybody that's thinking about maybe having a brick and mortar and is all online now, or, you know, vice versa. So, yeah.
Or those that are already in our community that do have brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Because we do have them.
There are quite a few. And some people, that's their ultimate end goal, is to have brick and mortar, have a brick and mortar.
Yep. Wow. We did a lot, and we haven't even talked about the addition of Patreon.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we added Patreon this year. So, all right. So all of our content for Consignment Chats is free. It's not behind a paywall. Our podcast, our YouTube, our Consignment Chats community, but we added Patreon to give people an added networking opportunity, opportunity to get their questions answered, an opportunity for private coaching. And we added this in, and it has been my favorite. We meet on the lowest tier. We meet once a month, and we just do a half-hour call and network, talk about whatever we want to talk about. And Molly has a very special thing she does there. You want to share
And
it?
why do I do it is because Libby came up with the idea of being accountable and having an accountability part of our monthly meeting, which all the members that are part of that Patreon group love it. So we all say each month what it is we want to work on that month and our goal. And then we come back the following month and we are accountable for that goal and we discuss it. And when you succeed in your goal, you get the ring of the bell.
Yes. Accountability has been something we've focused on this year. I do better, way better when I'm accountable to somebody rather than just having that idea floating around in my head, whether it's the amount of listings, whether it's a monetary goal, whether it's changing something in my consignor agreement, whatever it is. I find people are much more likely. I know I'm not alone in this. When you tell somebody else and you know they're going to ask you, you're going to be more likely to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yep, you do.
I hate to say that, but it's true.
It's true. I mean, it's like the Weight Watchers for resellers.
Reseller watchers.
Come get on that scale, friends, and let us know if you did your listings.
Oh, maybe we should like weigh Money Mountains or something like that.
Oh my gosh, no, there's not a scale big enough for my Money Mountain. I'd have to take it to one of those docks where they do the cargo ships and have them put it in a cargo and weigh it.
Oh my gosh. Oh
God. No, not anytime soon, girlfriend.
That is so fun. So the other thing we did, which I think was probably in our community one of the favorites, is our roundtables.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Those were fun. We do recordings. We don't even have a time for that. We just, when there's something that is roundtable worthy, we'll record an episode and have other resellers join us and discuss that topic. And that is a ton of fun.
Yeah, and that's open to anybody in our community. We post links, so watch for those in 2023. They've been really good. You can go back and you can watch the roundtables on YouTube or listen to them on podcasts, but a lot of good information. We did some on hiring help, managing your time.
Live sales.
Live sales was a big one. We did 2 on live sales. I think they were both in 2022.
Could probably do a third.
We'll probably do a third. Yeah, so we got to see all the different ways, and there were so many different ways people were doing live sales. The biggest thing was consistency that came out of that. Consistency and a smile is all you really need to do live sales, right?
Yes, it is.
And yeah,
I love it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else addition wise. I know the continued episodes are always good when we have things to discuss. Oh, I want to talk. Can we talk about 2023?
I don't know. We're not done with 2022 yet. We got a lot to talk about.
Go ahead. Put another 2022 out there.
Well, I definitely want to touch on social media. We did an episode on Reels with Erin Kinzel, which was very cool. Molly did a lot of learning about Reels this year. And I do want to say this because it's a little bit of a soapbox of mine about social media. Because Molly and I have differing opinions on this sometimes, is I firmly believe that you do not need to do social media, live selling, any of that to be a successful reseller. I think if it fits into your mission, and we're going to talk about mission in a second too. I think if it fits into your mission, awesome. If it's something you want to do, something you're interested in, but it is not necessary. It's not for everybody. And I feel like there's been a lot of pressure. Maybe I've just noticed it more this year for people to be on social media, to be promoting themselves, promoting their business. But a lot of resellers are not on social media, and a lot of extremely successful resellers do not spend the time there. They spend the time listing and selling, and they are doing very well with that. So I just want to throw that out there. If you're feeling that pressure.
I agree.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. I think my thing was we've had people ask that already have their social media accounts. And if that is the case and they don't know if they should keep it or not, I always want to make sure they've tried everything that they can before stepping away from it. But I 100% agree that not everybody needs that. Not everybody.
Or rein back your time. Like you really have to look at where you're spending your time and if you're getting anything out of it.
Yep.
So,
100%.
resellers putting a lot of pressure on themselves this year to get that up and running. If it's not your thing, you can be successful without it. We do talk a lot about it. It is a mission of both of our businesses. So, and we will continue to talk about it because we use it as part of our business. And you're always good with the helpful tips and tricks for social media. So I appreciate that. There's been a lot of good content you've put out with that this year. Mission,
Awesome.
mission,
Mission.
mission.
That's another soapbox to get on. Another soapbox. You got to have your mission statement.
Yes.
You gotta. Makes life so much easier if you know the mission to your business.
Mm-hmm.
So much easier.
Your mission and your ideal customer when you're developing those marketing materials, or you're just deciding what you're doing with your business. You're deciding if you should be on social media, how much time you should spend. Does it feed into your mission? Hop into our community. We love to help people with their
I do live
statement.
sales. Should I not do live sales? Right?
Yep.
Any decision you make, if you've got your mission statement, your ideal customer, it's easy to make those decisions because you refer back to that. And you're like, oh, no, that does not fit. Or, oh, yes, that does fit beautifully.
Yeah.
Like the last perfect piece of a puzzle.
Missions were a huge game changer this year for me, and really concentrating on that, making decisions based on them. I veered off a couple of times and did a couple crazy things like tried out whatnot, but that was more for our seat chatters, just so I could report back on it.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I did get caught up in it a little bit. How to use my mission statement to rein me back in, but there's a video on that.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. So that's another soapbox we will get on. If you do not have your mission statement, you do not have your ideal customer, it does not take that long. If you want help doing that, that's something that we can do through Patreon. I love helping with that kind of thing. Libby loves doing it, but it is worth the time. 100% worth the time.
So happy that we got on that in 2022 and we really nailed that down. I'm just thrilled with that. I'm absolutely thrilled with that. I'd only wished I'd done it sooner, but if you are starting 2023 without a mission statement, back it up. Let's do one.
Let's make you accountable to have that done. That's your accountability partner needs right there. We want to ring that bell for you.
Oh gosh. We talked a lot about growing your business, different ways to do that, growing your customers and sales. The list of paloozas were phenomenal, especially during summer slowdown.
Ooh, that summer list of palooza thing once a month. Woo! But it was fun.
It was fun and it really paid off. I'm so happy that we have, well, I would say we could blame Samantha and Michelle for it because you had to put in an enormous amount of work to the list of paloozas. But we do that in our consignment chats community and talk about things to do maybe when reselling is a little slow that will still pay off and get you through those slower months, whatever they may be.
Yes, girl. Yes. Like it, like it, like it. All right.
Let's get real. We didn't even talk about our whole mental health.
Oh, the addition of, yes.
Jeez, there's way too much to even that we've done in 2022. Are we off our rockers for even like attempting this much?
Oh,
we're not even getting into the books yet, but go ahead.
Well, and it's not really like a series of something. It's something that when we are having a true life struggle, we'll call each other, flip on the camera, and just talk about what that struggle is, because we want to help everybody through it. And typically whatever you're struggling with or I'm struggling with, so are other resellers out there. And so we're trying to put the real life struggles as they happen authentically out there in a very authentic, clean, clear way. And we don't always have the answers, but usually, we coach each other through it. The coaching each other through it is stuff we've been doing for 10 plus years. Now we're just letting you hear us do it. But we're also hoping that you'll comment and put some feedback in there too, because you may have other ideas of how to get through those issues that we highlight in that. So.
Yeah, because one of the things I found after we did our first one, I got a very sincere message on Facebook from someone just thanking me for putting that out there. And if when you work by yourself, you're not the only one struggling with these things. So,
Right.
hop in, comment, or don't comment, and just listen, and feel not so alone. And so
Yeah.
I think we're on the right track with that. I'm really happy that you had that idea to add that, and I hope it helped. Well, we already know it helped at least a couple people. So
And
mission accomplished.
something tells me there will be more in 2023.
Is this our baby-faced episode now, where we're going to look back at it next year and go, oh boy, they had no idea what the year had in store for them.
Oh, me, oh my. Oh, me, oh my.
Oh, geez.
Oh, gosh, we did a lot in 2022, girl.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to save 2023 for what we're going to be doing in 2023 for next week.
All right. We can do that. 100%.
Because I mean, there was so much that happened, and we gave you a couple little kernels of what we're going to do. And I'm going to announce our book club book.
Yes.
For January. So if you haven't joined our C Chats book club, it is a separate thing. It's available on consignmentchats.com. It's just a Facebook group, and we meet and discuss. I try to do a book a quarter. So it is The Slight Edge: Turning Simple Disciplines into Massive Success and Happiness is what you guys voted on. That will be our first book of the year. So stay tuned. It is by Jeff Olson, and that's what you guys chose. So it sounds impressive. I can't wait.
Nice.
Massive success and happiness.
Who doesn't want that? Are you going to link those, how to get those books? Do you have the links for those to put in the show notes? Awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. I got to get my copy. Get ready.
Yep. So the link will be in the show notes for the book club to get the book if you need the book, and join us as we discuss this. It's going to be, I'm excited for it. And it ties in. So at the end of the year, Chris Garrison gave us this idea. Word of intention. What's your word of intention going to be for the coming year? So we're going to be talking about that in our community. And I was excited because I'd already picked my word of intention for the year, and it totally jives with this book. My word of intention is consistent.
I was just having consistency in my head. I won't come up with a different one then.
Well, we can share it. I mean, a lot of us are going to have the same. Last year, mine was persevere.
That one, persevere. That's right. Do you still have it on your wall?
Heck yeah, I do. I'm going to have my daughter cut out consistent with her Cricut for me in gold lettering, and I'm going to put that on my wall. I'm going to take off persevere. It has been extremely helpful this year. I'm so glad that we did that last year, and I'm excited to work on my consistency this year, because I am not a consistent person. I am not a habitual person, but I really want to be.
Well, I'll give you mine next week when we record the 2023. I'm going to give you mine.
Oh, all right. Okay. Think on that.
Think on that.
In the community, get some ideas.
Well, I've already got two, just because I know me. So I that's one of those things I really don't need the community for, because I already know what I need. I need them for a lot, but this kind of thing. Right. But yeah, I was between two. So I'm going to decide if mine will be the same as yours or the other one. We'll see.
All right. Well, until next week. Cheers.
Until next week. Cheers.
Thanks for joining Libby and Molly, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. Find all the ways to connect with us at consignmentchats.com. Episodes are available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, you can find us on Facebook in our Consignment Chats community. Until next time.